Welcome, Heather Thomas. You could do better than that. It's on. It's already on. Keep it going. Just one more. Thank you. It is so nice to have you. You have a microphone right there.
Oh, it works great.
Thank you. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank
it is
you.
Very nice to have you. And we can either get to some questions right away, you can talk a bit, or whatever makes you comfortable.
Questions are great.
Okay, let me start off. I would like to ask you, you've kind of done it all, like acting, modeling, writing. Do you consider yourself a writer that models, a model that writes, or, I mean?
Right now I'm writing, and I'm going to be acting again because I've sort of got my last child out of the house, so that'll be nice. No offense to her, but they keep coming back. I've got girls, and I've got 3 daughters, and they all moved within 5 minutes of me to raise their families. And I have 2 stepdaughters that I got when I was in my 20s, and then I had India, my youngest, when I was a lot older, when I was like 42. And she goes to USC, but she's home every weekend. But she's almost out of the house. So
as far as your writing, what kind of regiment do you have with it?
I need to putter when I write. So I have a big vegetable garden. I grow all our food, and I have an orchard. So I mix soil, or I'll be planting something or tearing something up.
And it just all comes.
It putters, and then I have chickens. I'm on Twitter, and I have a lot of chicken films I do. We do lots of funny films. So the chickens and just something that's mindless, like pulling weeds, that helps me. And then I, go back and think. And I also read a lot, so the reading feeds that too.
Nice. Mind if we get some from the audience?
Sure.
Raise your hand. We'll come around. You got a question? Right there, of course.
There.
In the back.
I'm on my way.
That's all right. Come out and I have a question. Once again, just raise your hand and we'll come around.
Hi, I've got 2 quick questions, hopefully. One is, what type of music do you like to listen to? And the second question is, are there any roles, TV or movie roles, that you auditioned for, got the part, and maybe you turned it down for whatever reason, in hindsight said, oh, I wish I would have taken that part?
No to the last question. When I audition, I know what the part is, so I'm not going to turn it down. But my favorite music, I'm very eclectic. I like everything from Stevie Ray Vaughan, or something from Journey, or something from the Stones, and then I'll also like a lot of new stuff because I was forced to listen to it raising kids. So I like jazz, I like classical, I like all forms of music. I do like blues.
And you're not a musician yet.
No, I am not a musician. No, I was the one they put in the back row to sing, and they'd say, just move your mouth. Don't actually sing. The moose will come out of the bushes when I sing. It's not good.
There, we got a question right down second row.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. My question is, television is saturated with reality television and movies.
That was because of the writer's strike. I blame all this crazy reality stuff, and all the conspiracies came from the writer's strike.
Well, Survivor, Big Brother, things like that are most popular ones right now. Would you consider doing anything like that, or do you like reality television at all?
I don't like reality shows. They offered me that for my book. They wanted me to do something with pick some trophy wives, but I could have done it, but I thought it would be very cruel to them. They wouldn't even realize they were becoming buffoons, and so I didn't want to do that. I'm not big on reality shows. I don't need to do them, so I won't do them.
All right, next question. Right there. We've got 2 in a row.
Reality shows are all scripted anyway. They're not real. That's the whole point. I have friends that direct them, friends that write them. It's not real.
Hello.
Hi.
Glad you came today. First time meeting you.
concerning Fall Guy, currently own the mid-engine stunt truck that was used on the show from season 2 to season 5.
What? Could you repeat that?
Yeah, I currently own the stunt truck that was used on the Fall Guy season 2
You
to
own it?
season.
Wow.
Yes, I've acquired it and own it, and take it to do shows and stuff. Do you have any stories with that truck or being around the truck, doing the stunts or watching them or
Ones
anything?
I can repeat. That truck was really hard to hit a mark with because it was so high. You got to understand, they put a Band-Aid little X that big. And then they say, okay, I want you to do a 4-wheel slide into that and land your left front tire on it. And so after take 99, take 300, they sent me to stunt school. So I learned how to do all those things they wanted me to do. So I learned how to mark things on while you're driving it, but it was a pain. Mickey Gilbert drove it great. He was a wonderful stuntman.
So what was stunt school like? I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Oh yeah. There's the Bondurant race driving class, and then there's team driving. There's a million different courses you can take for driving. They didn't want me doing like jumps or anything.
Okay, that was the other thing.
They wanted me to be able to not do 300 takes when I'm doing a drive-in.
We got a question right here.
Hi, Heather. I wanted to know if you've seen or talked to Scott Baio or Willie Ames since you shot Zapped.
I think I ran into Willie a couple of times since I shot Zapped. Scott, I might have seen. I'm trying to remember if I saw him at Henry. I'm very close with Henry and Stacy Winkler, but I don't know if I've seen Scott since then.
Question right down here in front.
When you mentioned the reality show thing before, one of the fun things was the Fall Guy. It was just a fun show to do in the 80s, seemed to have a lot of those. Do you think there could be a comeback for that event with the nostalgia market?
You mean more shows that are just nothing about nothing and they don't have to have a social issue?
And they're fun. They're just
fun. Just
I think we need that in this day and age.
Yeah, it is cyclical. Who knows? Maybe I'll write one.
Back to the Fall Guy. Were there any real accidents that ever happened on the set?
The first year we had a really, really weird stuntman. No, a special effects guy. The special effects guy, he was really enthusiastic about flames and about blowing stuff up. Doug and I got blown up off a motorcycle. I remember Doug had to open a door and the whole wall burst into flames. We had to get rid of that guy. He was a firebug or something. We used to call him he really was fire starter. He was like that was probably the hairiest, but I don't know anybody that got serious. We didn't have deaths or anything like that.
Did the attitude of the show change after he left? Was it a lot more laid back, a lot less worrisome?
Yeah, a lot less gray hair. We were scared. So, yeah, it was better.
I know a lot of times that they don't want the stars to do their own stunts because if there's an accident, it's going to delay production. But were there any stunts that you can remember doing yourself, or did you always have a stunt person to do some of those things?
I had Debbie Porter, but I was really good on roller skates, so I did my own roller derby, and it was really fun. I got to spend 3 weeks with the LA Thunderbirds and Ralphie Valderez and Ron Hall and way back in the day, and they taught me how to jam and all that, and a lot of that's fake too, but I won't ruin it. But you're padded at least. So
that was one of the clips I showed her off the bat because you really can't fake that.
You can't fake that. That's hard to fake, but it's so much fun. It's so much fun when you're jamming. When someone's hitting you and you're behind them, you're actually holding on to their shorts. So, and then if you need to do a fall, you let go and throw yourself back, or the guys will pick you up and fake. You have to fake like they're breaking your back on the rail, and it's really fun. And it's all fake elbows and fake hits. You guys know that.
All right, let's grab some more questions. Right down there.
Right here. This man is everything 1970s and 1980s.
Memorize the internet.
I wanted to ask you, how was it to work with Lee Majors?
It was great. It was
Yeah.
great. He taught me a lot.
Do you still keep in touch with him at all?
Yeah. He's married to this woman, Faith, and they live in Texas. And I talk to Doug Barr all the time. He lives in Northern California. He had a winery, and he's just retiring now. And he does these really cool shows. They're like TED Talks. You can find them on YouTube, I think. But he does really interesting episodes where it'll be some guy that cured a weird disease, and then the next guy will be like an expert. He'll be an entomologist about ants. And then there'll be another one about this woman that put all the trees in Africa, and won a Nobel Peace Prize. They're really wonderful, wonderful things. But I talked to Doug a lot. And Doug and I did a thing with, it was some fan thing on where we had to Zoom it last year.
Thank you.
Do you ever watch any of the other old Fall Guy stuff? And it's so amazing how well it's held up and how much fun it is to watch.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, sometimes I do, and I get surprised. I'm like, oh my gosh, I remember that, or I remember that guest star, or how much fun did we have when we were, a lot of times when we had fun machines or contraptions, during lunch we'd mess around with them a little bit, but nothing dangerous, But sometimes a stuntman would take us jumping, and nobody knew about that.
Were there any guest stars or celebrities making an appearance on the show that stand out to you? Or
John Matuzak was really fun. I ended up doing a really goofy movie of the week with him. It was The Dirty Dozen Part 4. It was so unbelievable. We were all in Yugoslavia. I was stuck in a motorhome with John Matuzak and Boom Boom Mancini and Eric Estrada and just a whole bunch of goofy guys together, and me, Telly Savalas and Ernest Borgnine, and we were all in the middle of nowhere, and it was pig slaughtering season on the farms, and it was a strange movie. But John Matuzak was really fun. Richard Burton was fun. Jim Clyburn was fun. I probably am having a senior moment now. I can't remember any of the other people that were, but there was a lot of people that were fun.
We got another question for you right behind me here.
I was just curious about what made you kind of decide to come out and do some conventions and things now, who haven't really seen you in the public eye in a while.
I haven't done this in a long time. I used to do car shows. I used to leave the set, get on a red eye, go to the car show, do that all weekend, take a red eye back, and walk back on the set. I never would go home. But then, I had kids and all that, and I got spoiled. So I don't do this for the money. I do it for the fun.
That leads to my next question about when Fall Guy was wrapping up. Was it loose? Was it sad? Was it?
It was sad. Every show you're on, when it wraps, it's always sad because you never know if you're going to see those people again in your life. A lot of people passed away. You stay in touch. Like Maggie Parker, who was the second assistant director, she lives near me, and we stay really good friends. And I'm good friends with Douglas, and I was friends with Glenn Larson, the producer, till he passed on. But some people you'll never see again. The guy that held the light, hung the light. Some of the riggers, some of the best boys are the camera crew. You never know.
Do you have any souvenirs? Or you can't mention?
What did I steal, you mean, when we were shutting down?
You could
I
possibly.
stole the chair from the porch sort of set, the outside set. I stole a Adirondack chair. I stole, what did I steal? I think I stole like some big Fall Guy emblem. I think I stole that and I stole some of the weights from the weight room.
Awesome. We got time for a few more questions. You're headed back to your table, or do you have a photo op next?
I don't know. They tell me.
I'm not sure. I think she's got a photo op in about a half hour, so she may be going back to the table for a little bit, or maybe not.
Just go by your table and hang out because you're going to be there all weekend.
Yeah, I'm going to be there all weekend.
Awesome. Let's grab a couple more questions. Great first Q&A. Let's get run right down front.
Do you have like a favorite episode, just in general, for like maybe it was a guest star or just the
It would
storyline?
probably be the roller derby, but then there were so many goofy ones. There was like the one with like, okay, it just happened on a week where I didn't read the script over the weekend, and I came in on Monday. I'm like, okay, I'm not in the first scene, so I can learn it all while everybody's shooting that. And there were 72 Elvis impersonators. It was like I just dropped acid, and they were everywhere. They were like at the tables eating like Elvis, and I saw him eat once in Memphis. He eats like this, and they were all talking like Elvis. There were tall ones, short ones, every race, every design of Elvis, fat Elvises, early Elvises, Jailhouse Rock Elvis. There was a million of them. It was hysterical, but I was just like, what's happening? That was a funny episode.
So you would usually like do the table read and then get a feel for it. How long would it take to get one
We never
episode?
did a table read.
Really?
No, I do a table read on you do it with sitcoms, and you do it with a lot of shows. Not Fall Guy. It was like, we're here to shoot this thing, and we show up in the morning and shoot it.
How long did it take to get one episode filmed, usually?
Probably 6 days.
6 days?
6 days. 14-hour days, 15-hour days. Wow. Yeah.
Well, we'd like to thank you so much for coming out and doing a bit of a Q&A with us. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Thomas, you know what to do.
Thank you very much.
You could do better than that. Headed back to her table, getting a photo op.
It's funny.
Thank you so much. It's so nice to have you. Right there is perfect.
This is John Glover, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Lionel Luther recommends it. Have some fun. Follow your fandom.